Hi everyone, hope you're well. It is Wednesday the 28th of August 2013 and I've just been thinking about how it's coming up to the end of August and I've still actually got 4 months to try and achieve a lot of stuff that I wanted to achieve this year. So I'm feeling quite good, feeling quite motivated at the moment. Today I did quite well in avoiding games again. I played a tiny bit of XCOM. And I popped into Scrolls for a couple of matches as well, but that was all. And most of the day I've spent going over some of my notes, ideas for videos that I've got written down on paper that were kind of buried in my notepad. And I've been crossing them off and getting rid of the paper and transferring the ideas into my digital list, my file for video ideas and video format that I'm working on, and I'm thinking a whole lot about that and about what kind of videos I want to make and what kind of schedule I want to have. And in some ways the absolute ideal thing is if I could come up with sort of like the perfect idea, something that I really want to do, like one main big thing that would be my main focus on YouTube, just like one show idea. I'm not sure if that will happen or not though. I'll probably have several, but if I have several, that I can try them all out and see if one of them does well, and then that will then become the thing. But yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about that, and more information on that later. Like I've already said before, all my format ideas and stuff, once I've got them really ironed out, I'll most probably share them with everyone, especially if I can back it all up with actual kind of scientific evidence as well of best practices and why you should do certain things. A lot of it is going to be personal taste though, I think, as well though, because that's actually really important. I think a lot of people overlook that, is that you know, some things you can do that are kind of will not guaranteed, but are best practices or whatever, but might be hard work or a lot of time or something you don't enjoy doing, and it's not very sustainable. People tend to overlook the psychological factor, and actually I think if you don't enjoy some parts of the process, then whatever process that isn't going to be very sustainable. So you've either got to find a way of enjoying it or change the process, you know, so that you don't just get burnt out and sick of it over time. So what else? I've put down a note that I'm not going to talk about it now, but it's really tempting to talk about the Adblock discussion at the moment. Lots of people are talking about Adblock. It's always been a problem for YouTubers, but it's the people who make Adblock are hoping to raise a lot of money and sort of like really market themselves even more, so that even more people in the world use Adblock, and everyone who has adverts on their websites or their YouTube videos or whatever. A lot of people are really worried because it will affect us all financially in that respect, and I've got a whole lot to say about it, but I think, aside from whether you think it's right or wrong and stuff, that's the thing. Lots of people are sort of like discussing it and saying, oh, it's really bad, it's really wrong, people need to realise what they're doing. I don't think that's going to make a whole lot of difference, because I think people are essentially selfish, and if they want to use Adblock, they're going to use Adblock. You know, because they're going to think, even if they really like, say, YouTuber, they're still, if they want to use Adblock, they're still going to use it, because people are selfish and they don't care, and they'll think, like, if a YouTuber's got thousands of viewers and you're just one person and you want to use Adblock, then you probably think, oh, you know, I'm only one person, it's not going to make a huge difference, it doesn't matter. So I think it's one of the things, the point I was going to get to is that, you know, I think it's bad, and I've never used Adblock as well. Also, I just think it's a symptom of the modern age and people having absolutely no patience and not being able to wait 5 seconds to skip a YouTube ad, then it's I mean, adverts don't bother me on the internet. They never have bothered. I've always just seen it as part of the internet, and it's like you just ignore them. I don't understand people who can't, have to actually install the program. Anyway, but that's personal taste, I guess. I think the main point that I really want to get into is the fact that a lot of people seem to like to complain about these things, and rather than and put a lot of effort into ranting and raving and saying it's not fair, that they could be putting into thinking about how would I adapt if that happened. And it's something I've thought about a lot, about, because, and I've always thought about it because advertising revenue fluctuates. You don't have like a guaranteed, you don't know how much money you're going to make each month. Even if you had the same amount of views every month, the amount of money you get from different adverts changes. Nobody ever knows exactly. You have a kind of vague idea of how much, but it might be, sometimes it might be less than you expect, sometimes it might be a lot more. So it's never a stable income anyway. So I think people who kind of really take this stuff seriously, and like myself, I'm looking at ways of becoming financially independent before the end of the year. It's not a stable enough business model to rely on adverts alone, and that's why so many YouTubers like sell MP3s of their song parodies and t-shirts and posters and all of that business, because that's a lot more profitable than just adverts alone. So anyway, that's something I might talk about in the future, and also and there's also a discussing along the line of the paid subscription channels, which a lot of LPers and people don't get, because they're like, why on earth would people pay for content? And it's like, just because people wouldn't pay for your content doesn't mean that people wouldn't pay for certain content. I don't think people would pay for any of the content that I've made so far, but if that was the only option, then I would up my game and make my drama series or something that was that higher quality, that people would have more perceived value. It just takes more work to make something like that, but it's doable. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say today. Just possible foreshadowing of future rant videos, and I hope you're well, and I will see you tomorrow.